Alright guys, welcome back to yet another weekly trading results breakdown. I'm kind of excited to actually do this video, but before we get into it, I just need to let you guys know I am not a professional trader. I am no financial advisor. I'm not trying to teach anybody anything. These videos are just to be looked at as personal entertainment. I just figured that it would be pretty cool if I started uploading my personal trading results and just kind of track my progress. Alright, so getting right into it here, you can see that we are down 7%, actually 6.96%. Let's do some math here real quick. I'm risking 2% per trade idea. I've lost, let's be generous here to the losing side, I have lost 4 trades. I only need 3 of my big winning trades to be able to get back to break even and to go into profit. It's not a big deal. I'm not worried about it. I'm also a swing trader, so my trades are going to last quite some time. You know, they last a couple weeks, a couple days to a couple weeks. It really depends. Anyways, here's the monetary value of how much I am down. So this week we're down about 10%, so I actually lost 5 trades. So this week I'm down 10%, but that's the equivalent of losing 5 trades at 2%. So it literally will take me 3, let's just say 4. It'll take me 4 big winning trades just to go back into profit. So it's really not that bad. I'm also a swing trader, so my trades take a couple days to a couple weeks to play out for my big winning trades. So yeah, there's that. Scrolling down here, you see that we're averaging about a 37% win rate. That ain't too bad. I've taken a total of 49 trades. So 49 trades, you gotta remember I'm taking 2 different positions per trade idea. So that means I took about 25, as of right now, with positions that are secured, I've taken about 25 different trade ideas, so I am a quarter of the way through my trading, my statistical edge. But with that said, here is the general statistics. I am not going to go over that too much, just because it's 25 trades, there's not a whole lot of data to talk about here. I am just overall generally down on the account. So getting into the new thing that I learned this week, it was one thing, it's an adjustment I'm going to make moving forward. It's not an adjustment with the strategy, well, with the risk management per se, it's just called active risk management, that's what I call it. I'm not changing my entry signals, my entry exits or anything like that. I'm not changing none of that. The only, well, technically I am kind of changing my exits. The only thing I'm doing though is, since I'm taking 2 different positions per trade idea, right? So for CHF JPY here, all I'm doing is trapping price, trapping price with the daily level. So we had a support zone here and a resistance. I'm waiting for a 15-minute candle to close out of either or zone. We got the close, I entered my position. So what I do is I take 2 different positions for the same trade idea. If I'm risking 2% per trade idea, that means per position I'm risking 1% on each of the position. So I have 1%, both of those positions have the same entry level, same stop loss price, but one of the positions has a take profit of 1 to 1, and the other position has a take profit of 1 to 2. So overall, that'll give me a risk to reward ratio of 1 to 1.5, and I also have a very high win rate, so I'll be able to stay consistently consistently profitable, but I'll be able to stay consistent with the strategy. I'm not going to want to change it. I'm going to be able to stay confident in it and keep executing my trades like I'm supposed to. Anyways, the adjustment I made is, see like this trade right here, we see that it kind of consolidated the entry for a while, and then it hits take profit 1. Once my take profit 1 is hit and closed in my MetaTrader, once I see that in my MetaTrader that the take profit 1 was hit, on that second order for that pair, what I'll do is, the one that has the same entry price, the one that has a take profit of 1 to 2, I'm just going to go ahead and move that stop loss right to break even, because I've noticed a lot of the times, although with this adjustment I am missing out on a couple big winning trades because price will come back and hit my break even stop and then go to my 1 to 2. I'm okay with sacrificing a couple trades like that, because I've been noticing what's been eating my profits a lot is pretty much those trades where it'll push to like 75 pips, so it'll hit my first take profit but not quite get to the second take profit, and then it'll come down and hit my stop loss. I have noticed that on those trades, that's where I'm losing a majority of my money. And so my mindset with trading, like why I've been kind of stuck running in a circle, is I've had a huge mindset change this week. It kind of happened a couple days ago, but this idea didn't come to me till today. But the psychology of money has helped me with that, but also a couple other different circumstances of life. But pretty much what I realized was my mindset was so aggressive. So what I was doing was I was looking at the market and my strategy. I was trying to make it better, because what I was thinking was like, oh, I have to figure out how to make profit. You know, it's the strategy. I can make an adjustment on the strategy to be able to make more profits, but that's not how it works. No matter what strategy you have, the market's only going to give you a certain amount of profits with that. Your job, you are a risk manager. Your job isn't to make profits. Your job isn't to, I mean, at the end of the day, your job is to make profits, but you're not, it's not to sit here and be like, oh, I can make this adjustment to make 3% more profits out of the market, because that's not how it works. You're going to get, with a certain strategy, you're going to get a certain win percentage, and you can't really get any better than that. The best thing that you can do is learn to manage your losses. And so I started to notice, like, that with that mindset shift, I was looking at my trading a little bit differently. And I was like, okay, well, I'm noticing that with my losses, I'll have my big winning trades and they wipe out my losses. But the trades where they're ending up break even, like, there's just so many times where, it feels like more times than not, about like 50 to 60% of the time, it'll go to take profit one and then hit my stop loss. And so on those trades right there, about 40 to 60% of the time, I can be profiting on 0.5% per trade instead of being just break even. So I can catch a couple of those big winning trades, but those smaller wins, they're going to add up over time, and they're going to be so much more consistent. It's going to be so amazing. And that was my whole thought process behind it. If that didn't make any sense to you guys, I guess that kind of sucks, because I do make these videos for my own personal purposes. So I did make a free trial this week for Ftmo. There was one purpose for this account. I talked about it a little bit in my motovlog. So my account right here, you can see it's pretty much the same exact as my personal account. It's literally the same exact trades, same percentages, just different dollar amounts. So percentages are all the same, but I was risking 2% per trade idea on Ftmo. Now, as you guys know, they only allow a 5% drawdown for the day, and it's 10% overall drawdown on the account until you lose the account. So you see, risking 2% per trade idea, we're going to call that 16,000, but I went over by 6,000. So if I was risking 1%, I actually I would have been about 3.5 to 4% overall drawdown on a day. But still, like, I'm within the 5%, so I'm figuring out what's the maximum amount that I can risk per trade to be able to not to violate any of the parameters for the challenge, but also to be able to make that 10%. So I'm thinking that 1%, this has also been the worst drawdown that I've ever seen with this strategy. It was just unlucky that this was a time where it was a losing streak, but this was also the worst drawdown I've seen. And what the statistics were telling me here is if I did 1% with the Ftmo challenge, I wouldn't have violated any of the parameters. The only parameter that I violated was the drawdown of 5% in one day. But the max loss you see here, we got pretty close, but once again, if we were risking 1%, we wouldn't even have been close to that yet. With the max daily loss, that's the only thing I'd be worried about, but we didn't hit it. You can see we're negative on the account. This week was kind of shit. And also, before I move on to anything else, the new adjustment, so I went back and looked at all my trades for the past week that I took, that caused me to have this losing week. It is just an unlucky period. Like, this was my conclusion that I came to with my strategy, and the adjustments that I'm going to make moving forward with moving my stop losses to break even. Even if I would have done that this past week, I still would have had the same results, because pretty much these were all just losing trades. Like, it wasn't, oh, price moved to take profit one, then pulled back or anything like that. No, it was pretty much just losing trades, I still have a bunch of winning trades, trades that are still playing out right now. I still have a lot of those plugged in. But even if I were to follow the plan with the adjustment that I'm going to now be making moving forward with moving my stop loss to break even if I had been doing that this past week, I still would have had the same result. So the conclusion is, for this week, even with a lot of the backtesting that I've done this today, it's been a lot, but I found that there's nothing to it. It's just a losing streak, and pretty much what I found was I don't need to, but I'm going to be using 1% on a $10,000 Ftmo account. I think I'm going to be starting that next week, so I'll be going over that in the next trading video, hopefully. But yeah, guys, that's been pretty much it. That's the plan moving forward. That's what I'm going to be doing moving forward. Pretty much only adjustments was on my second position, so everything's staying the same, although the only difference is once my first position, so once my first take profit is hit, I'll just go ahead and move that stop loss to break even on that second order, and I will either lose nothing on that trade or I will win big. So that's just how it is. I'm really glad I kind of had that epiphany this week. I really do owe that to the mindset shift that I had this week. So a lot of thinking to my own self, to my own head, life circumstances, and also the trading book that I'm reading right now. Not really trading book, but just mindset on money. I'm becoming more of a risk manager and managing my risk a lot more, instead of being aggressive and trying to make money. So that's good. I think that's where that mindset shift kind of idea came from, and I back tested it. And usually in my back testing, I'll just get break-even win rates with my strategy. But when I did that adjustment to my strategy, I was coming out with like 10% edges over the course of 50 trades. Like I was making 10% on every single one of the pairs I back tested, 9 or 10% over the course of 50 trades. It'll usually take me about a year to do 50 to 60 trades, but if you're risking 2% per trade idea, 8%, so let's do some math here. Being generous, let's say 7% for 1%. So I was doing 1% in my backtesting, not 2%. So 7 times 2 for 2%, that's 14 per trade, or per pair every year. Multiply that by 19 for all the pairs that I traded, that I trade and backtested. 266%, divide that by 12. How much can I be making on a month? I can be making upwards of 22% per month with my strategy. Realistic gains here, guys. Like I'm trading 19 different pairs that over the course of a year are averaging a 9% return with 1%. And so being generous to the losing side, I can be making an average of like 22% on my personal account. With Ftmo account, I can be making a little over 10%, maybe like 8 to 12% range, kind of. But yeah, guys, that's the goal. That's the plan moving forward. That's the adjustment that I've made. That adjustment's going to be able to maintain super consistent profits over the course. They are going to be small profits, but they're going to be super consistent. And also, this was just a normal losing week, so those are still going to happen. But yeah, guys, that's been the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It's just the normal trading stuff. Nothing too special. Those are the plans moving forward. Kind of broke everything down a little bit. Was a loss this week, but other than that, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and you know the drill. I'll see you in the motovlog.